I'll tell you how I first met Anita. In 1965, 58 years ago, we lived in this little house in La Crescenta, and we didn't even know that 2 doors down this new family had moved in, and I heard this, which she still says, yoo-hoo, hello. Can I ask you a question? Is snare all poisonous? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, my little daughter just ate it. So we met on the way to the hospital so they could pump patient's stomach. And then we were all poor, you know, and so we decided we were going to take a vacation to Ensenada, but we couldn't afford to rent 2 places. So we rented this little 1-bedroom trailer, and the first half of the week, Anita and Roland got to sleep in the bed, and my husband Bill and I slept on the couch, and then the next half. And while we were there, the guys decided they were going to go fishing, so they hired this guy. Don't make me laugh. They hired this guy to take them out on this barge or something. They took their lunch, and they were going to go deep sea fishing all day. And the guy didn't come back for hours, and they were so sick. And we just laughed. I mean, they were so sick. And there's so many fishing stories. My son, Steve here, drove down from Idaho to be here today. And there were so many wonderful stories with Roland and Anita. He remembers the Baja Bug because they introduced us to off-roading many years ago. Many years ago. And that and all the fishing stories, and he always emphasized to all the kids about his history and going to the detention camp. They all knew about it. He was so open about it, and I thought that was wonderful. And then my oldest son, he said, I have very fond memories of my childhood that shaped my love for the outdoors. The Smiths were a wonderful family that I will always cherish. My memories of our family adventure spanned from California coast to the Sierras to the desert. I will always remember Roland as a man bigger than life and the man that I looked up to. Rest in peace, my friend. One of Steve's last memories was my husband Bill and Steve and Roland all went up to the Sierras, and they rented this little trailer, and one night they sat around the campfire and they polished off a whole bottle of whiskey.
No, it was Roland and I did. Everybody else was dead.
Oh, just he and Roland.
Stories. I heard a lot of stories that night. Yeah.
So my youngest son, he wrote this, and he's in Utah, and he couldn't be down. Being the youngest of the bunch, and to me this pretty much fit Roland, that we remember. Anita and I, for years, we camped in San Clemente, and the guys would come down on the weekend. We were big beach people. Being the youngest of the bunch, my memories of Roland are not so ingrained. When I picture Roland, I always see him with mutton chops and a leather hat. I see him in that old black Baja Bug. I see him with a fishing pole, and I see him in his old Dodge van. To me, Roland was jolly as Santa Claus and even had a slight resemblance. I always enjoyed hearing his stories. Everybody talks about his stories, and he was the best. Of the times he and my parents spent in Mexico. I'm told I was on a few of those trips, but I was too young to really remember, except the time that the plane crashed near our camp. We were all sitting there. You remember that?
I got chicken pox.
We were all sitting on the beach, and there was a little tiny army base next to us. All of a sudden, this plane comes in, and I think it flipped over, and boom, it crashed. And pretty soon, a little Jeep comes out. I mean, it was just like nothing had happened.
They come out with a fire extinguisher.
Did they?
The plane's on fire, they got a fire extinguisher.
Let's see. So my most recent memories were of our trips to the Eastern Sierras fishing with my dad and my brothers. I think the last one was around 91 and 92. My brother Steve recently reminded me of how we all went up the Tioga Pass in the brown Dodge van, bald tires, and us boys sitting in lawn chairs and on milk crates in the back. And that was Roland. Get in, hold on, and let's go catch some fish. The Smiths have always been a second family to me. The fact that the two people with such huge smiles found each other shows that God can have a hand in our fate. Those smiles were passed along to Patience and Junior. And when I think back to any time that I spent with the Smith family, everyone was always smiling and having a good time and laughing. The times we spent at San Clemente Beach when I was young are some of my fondest memories I have as a child, and I was happy to spend it with great people. I know that my dad was proud to call Roland his friend. I know they enjoyed fishing and hiking together, and I'm so happy they are doing it once again. It's been quite some time since I've seen Roland, and I want Anita and Patience and Junior to know that Roland will always be Uncle Roland to me, and the void that he left physically will be filled with great memories and happy times. I'm sorry I can't be there to celebrate such an amazing man, but I'm in there in spirit and thinking of your family. So I know that Bill and Roland are up there fishing in some beautiful, gorgeous lakes, and they're catching all the fish that they want. Thank you all. This is wonderful.